Hi, Meredith President from NetSuite.
Brian, nice to meet you.
Awesome. Can I take a seat?
Of course.
Thank you so much. Well, before we get started today, the first thing I wanted to do is obviously give me my business card. It has my personal email and phone number on it. So seriously, do not hesitate to call. I have my phone on me all the time and would be more than happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Well, it was awesome meeting Brock at the Terry event last week. He's really awesome. Kind of remember having a few classes with him in college.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice guy and kind of cool to see where all of us have gone and where we're going to go. So
yeah, definitely.
Thank you for meeting with me. He spoke so highly about your family business and everything that you guys have done and all the growth you've had and how you've gotten there. So I was really excited to meet with you today.
Yeah, it's been a long trek.
Well, before we get started, is there anybody else that would benefit being in this meeting with us? Any more decision makers in this process?
You know, I really can't think of any. I'm probably going to be the best person to talk to. So, yeah, I think we're good to go.
You're the head honcho. I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, so 20 minutes we have for a meeting, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I know your time is valuable. I want to get everything just laid out and make sure everything is good communication between the two of us. So with that being said, I did create a soft agenda for us today.
Okay.
So first, I'd love to hear more about you and your business and really hear about goals that you guys have to reach in the future and maybe some things that are challenging to get to those goals.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, just wrap things up and see if PTI and NetSuite can be a successful partnership. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Awesome. Do you actually mind if I take a few notes?
Please do.
Okay,
Please
perfect. Do. Well, first thing, I just want to know, how has your time been at PTI? In a family business, obviously, it must be kind of fun, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of been like the American dream. We kind of started from nothing and have just kind of grown exponentially in the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking to continue that growth and maybe even break to double digits in growth.
Wow, that is obviously awesome. And like you guys, I think I've seen in the past, done very well. So double digits is not far from reach whatsoever.
Right, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, going off of that, could you tell me what growth you're trying to achieve, like in the future, maybe in a year per se?
So right now we kind of just hit 9%.
Okay.
So we are kind of to look to make that 10, 11%, just to kind of meet that milestone. So that's kind of the growth we're looking to get.
Okay, is that what you guys are expecting, or like what is?
Right now we're not expecting that kind of growth. We're kind of looking at 8 and then 7% for the next 2 years, but we are very open to some suggestions on how to get to that 10% growth.
Okay, awesome. I know. I would love to help and love to hear more about the growth that you would like to expound on. And what do you think is keeping you from achieving that constant growth? Like you were saying, the 10 or 11%, but your projection's a little lower. What's the discrepancy between those?
So we do kind of have a little miscommunication between our sales and our home office.
Okay.
So our teams are kind of having to re-enter sales data, whether it be the end goal of the meeting, kind of the next steps that they took, the next compelling event, or if they actually made the sale, and then the financial data all with that as well. So we're just kind of miscommunicating. We might have people contact the same perspective.
Okay.
So yeah.
How's that happening? Like, say one of your salespeople calls the day before, and then, excuse me, then another salesperson calls the next day. Like,
yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
A little friction, I would say.
Yeah, a little friction. So the buyers might kind of get annoyed just from being called so many times, especially if they did already make the sale. That might lead them to not continue their partnership with us.
Okay.
So that might cause a little friction as well, yeah.
And I know you guys do have a great reputation of really just making like customer needs and
right,
everything.
so we're very customer focused. We are looking it's less about the profit that we get and more the benefits that we can provide.
That's an awesome motto to have. I really think that's amazing in a company to really have that company culture that also translates.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
To your customers as well. So what does your current forecasting look like in your sales? Like, say, like you have some leads. Like, how do you go about doing those? Like, do you have leads? We just kind of
So what we do tend to do, but I know it's kind of a taboo in the sales world, is the cold calling.
Okay.
So cold calling is kind of one of our lead generations, and then we do get referrals.
Okay.
And then we'll have our salespeople, kind of just. I know we don't like to talk about this either, but the door-to-door, just going from universities to universities or small retail stores that might need our tools. So that's kind of where we get our most of our leads from.
Okay, so you have these leads and your salespeople make a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Will you explain how they go about really inputting that data in the database, like your database system? What does that look like?
So sometimes, most of the time, they'll actually have to come to the home office and put it in themselves, or they will call one of our receptionists to input it. But that's usually how they put it in. It's just coming back to the home office, putting it in our Excel file, and then going back out.
So you are using Excel?
Yes, Excel is our current CRM system.
Okay, so is it just the one system Excel, or do you have like certain like alternate like routes to get to Excel? Is it?
So it is just one Excel. We have one central Excel file,
Okay.
But each of our salespeople, if they do decide not to come back every time they do make a sale or make a sales call, they will keep their own Excel files and then come back and then input all that data.
Okay, so a lot of moving around, maybe unnecessary moving around for your salespeople.
Right.
Bit.
So a little bit of inefficiency is what you could say.
Okay. How much time would you say like your salespeople are spending making sure their personal Excel documents match up with the main CRM Excel? Like, what's that?
With our growth and them being out so much, it is kind of looking at like 3 to 4 hours a week.
Okay. So 3 to 4 hours, is that for just your employees? What about you personally? Like, how does...
So I'm spending about 6 to 8 hours kind of seeing where we stand at the end of the week, just so I can kind of forecast where we're going and how we can kind of allocate our money.
So late Friday, you're kind of stuck at the office instead of at happy hour with some of your friends watching Friday Night Football and all that.
Right.
Okay, so wish you'd be other places.
Yes, I would rather be drinking a cold brew rather than looking at a cold Excel file.
I get that. That is definitely something that people would probably say the same with. So during those 3 to 4 hours for your employees and your 6 to 8 hours that you're spending, what are some things that you could be achieving personally and professionally, like as a company, and that time frame?
So I guess we could be making new leads or following up with people who might have not made that sale at that time.
Okay.
So I guess new lead generation or just honestly more business, more sales.
Obviously, you said growth is a huge factor, and so sales helps your growth tremendously.
Right.
So, okay, that's good to hear. And then, so prospecting clients, just to go back to hear a little more in depth about that. So you said cold calling, just like some leads that you did have in the past, and like, would you say that your employees do get maybe sales in the future with people that they've had in the past? Like, how is that return rate?
Honestly, I'm not really sure, but if I had to estimate, sometimes we do lose a customer since if they have been called multiple times by like 2 different people. Okay. So that might cause us to lose some business that way.
Okay, so does your Excel document, does that track that, or?
Some people will forget to put in like their contact with the buyers. Okay. So since it is kind of very like manually based, they will forget to either save the file or just like forget to input it all together.
Okay, and people do make mistakes. I understand. Right. Not something you can completely harp on, but something that probably could help your business.
Right, definitely room for improvement.
Okay, so just like a personal question, I don't know if this is digging too deep, but right now, like in this moment, what is really holding you back from changing like a CRM system in your company?
So with our in mind to grow, we're looking to get a little farther out in the southeast. We're kind of trying to save every penny we can. Okay. Just so we can invest it back into the business and into maybe new locations.
Okay, I did. Brock was telling me you're moving in a lot of states around the southeast, right?
Yeah, we're in this big movement just to like have a bigger business and expand. So hopefully one day we could be a national business.
Okay, so awesome. I love that. So everyone's going to hear about PTI nationwide. Right. That's really awesome. So back to the CRM system. Any CRM system you had, what are some ideal characteristics you would say that come to mind just of like your dream, like hold your business together? What does it look like?
Something that can forecast it for me. Something that can tell me where my business is at this time. So on Friday night, I can have my cold beer with my friends and I don't have to look at this Excel document. And then something that's just going to, have my salespeople inputting that data right when they're done. So something like that, just something that's going to make their lives easier, make my lives easier, and the overall business help our growth.
Perfect.
Just get us out there.
You're happy, everyone's happy.
Right. That's our motto.
Awesome. So going off of that, I just want to reiterate some things. That's okay. That you, so obviously growth is a huge thing, and you're saying allocating time. It's just two things you're lacking. So if I could tell you that NetSuite would be able to increase your growth by having you as well as your employees get to spend more time on sales, would you be interested in looking at a demo?
You know what? I actually would like to see it.
You would? Okay, awesome. Do you mind if I actually scoot over to your side to really show you some more? Okay, awesome. I'm going to switch on over here for you. Swivel on around. All right, so what we have, pull this up. Sorry, I have a password on my computer.
It's all good.
Okay, so here is what, when you log on to NetSuite, what you're going to see every morning you come into work. And I know you just said forecasting was something that you really would love to see more of your company do, because right now that's probably something that is more of a challenge for you guys.
Right.
So actually, if you just go on our forecasting tab, I'll let you actually click it. Yeah.
So this one right here?
Yeah, click that right there. Perfect. So when you click on that, what this shows you is every time that your employee makes a sale to their customer, it goes right on here to this forecasting tab. And so what this does is it's a cloud-based system.
Right.
So like you were saying, they're kind of having to waste time going back to the office and putting this data, then like going out and making another pitch. What they do, make the sale, go back in their car, their Android, iPhone, tablet, iPad, get on it, update it.
And I don't have to buy them a new iPhone or smartphone. They can just download it on their phone?
Exactly. Literally download it on their phone, whatever carrier, whatever phone, like anything. And you can be in your office, automatically updates, real time, it's there.
So I don't have to refresh the page or anything?
No, it will update it. Like if you almost watch it, obviously kind of late right now, so no one's making sales, but 9 and 10 in the morning, this thing is just shooting out new data.
That's perfect. Wow.
Yeah, and so next, will you click the dashboard button for me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So right here, what you're going to see, this is kind of like your home page, they call it. So this is like what you're going to go to, and this is where it analyzes and reports each of your projects that your employees are working on. So you said you want to move southeast and then hopefully sometime nationally.
Right.
So what this will do, it almost breaks it down. You can do it to different territories or different like sales teams or however, like you can categorize your people differently or your towns differently, and it can show you how each of your territories is doing with their sales.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like you see over here, like the growth, it'll show you it is increasing right now, and that can just be like real time, like I said earlier.
Okay.
And then thirdly, will you go to the sales button up there to reports?
Yes.
Awesome. So once you click that, this indicates performance across like the sales, marketing, and then the service and fulfillment. So I know you said people are inserting their data manually. They kind of like sometimes input it, sometimes not, show an error. But what they do, this can track your fulfillment of your customers. So are they coming back a second time? Are they getting the sale the second time? So it's really, it's a lifelong investment. Like you were saying, family business, obviously like integrity is a huge value of yours. This really can show how those values pay off, and your customers are seeing that as well because they're coming back.
Okay. So this all looks great, but it seems really expensive.
Well, I was actually just going to bring up price. So that's the perfect transition over to price. So what we're looking at to implement this system, we have a year-long contract, so it would be a partnership between NetSuite and PTI.
All right. And
like 28 employees, is that correct?
Yes, somewhere around there.
Okay, so 28 employees, say like this month. We charge $129 a month per employee.
Okay.
You think it's a large price tag, but can I actually maybe step back a few minutes to kind of look at your numbers too to compare those prices?
Sure.
Okay, so I took the liberty right here to almost draw out. I'm a little bit of a visual person, so I just wanted to show you what I thought out, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on some things, but $168 million a year, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and I talked to a few friends, did a little research, and it says per year that people are working about 2,080 hours a year. Is that
I would say that since I am kind of the one that's in charge and kind of working the most, I would kind of shoot that up to maybe 2,200 hours.
Okay, so 2,200. Okay. So, well then, correcting my math now, you do the 168 million divided by those hours that you're working a year. Did you realize every hour you work is $76,000?
You know, I don't really think of it. I've never seen it that way before, just because, when we do make a sale, it is kind of a bigger sum all at once rather than smaller sums every hour of our day. So that is something I've never really thought about.
Time is money, they say.
That
quantitative number obviously speaks volumes.
Right.
So, going along with my math again, to go back to what you said, we'll be conservative, and you said 6 to 8 hours a week that you take inputting data, and then your employees 3 to 4. So
right.
So we'll do 6 hours for you and 3 for them, obviously equaling 9.
Right.
So multiply that $76,000 an hour, and then you're gonna multiply that by 9 hours that you, in lesser words, almost are wasting.
Right.
Your price tag's obviously got a few zeros on it. $700,000.
And that's per week?
Per week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so obviously NetSuite is going to really give you an insanely great return on investment. It really, we speak to our word, as well as your business obviously is very reputable as well. So we believe that this could be something that could truly benefit your company.
And then is this number, what is that?
Okay, so right here, like I said, very visual. So I'm just going to draw out pretty much what it would cost you to what you're missing out on or losing. So going further to that $700,000, would you say you work about 48 weeks a year?
Yeah, so we do like to give them some Christmas time and Thanksgiving and 2 weeks of vacation, so about 4 weeks off every year. Okay,
so multiplying that by the 48, you are looking at $33 million a year.
Out of my 168. Oh wow.
Yeah, so what I did here is it's $44,000 for a year to implement NetSuite.
Okay.
3 zeros. Over here, you're looking at $33,000, and obviously, kind of up there and down there.
So this is how much I would, in a sense, be saving every year.
Exactly.
That extra comma.
Extra comma, extra zeros.
All right.
Zeros are good on paychecks, but not when you're looking at it like this.
Right.
But so yeah, this is really just kind of what we can do for you, and this is the money you're getting back just by implementing a new CRM system. Okay. So, do you have any current concerns you'd like to address with me? How are you feeling after looking at all of this?
The only concerns is you do look kind of young, so I kind of am on the fence. Maybe these aren't the right numbers or something like that. That's kind of where I'm at this point.
Okay. Well, I'd love to address your concern. I am going into my 3rd year at NetSuite.
Really?
And I have done extremely well. I went to University of Georgia, obviously, and the training here is one like no other. So all of these in college, I did sales competitions. I had professional selling classes. So that really put me ahead of some of my other friends that went into the same program for NetSuite to kind of do the sales training. And so I really, even before NetSuite, had just time professionally developing myself. And I actually did bring testimonies from other companies like yours, around the same size, around the same profit. And so these are just pretty much stating how they felt as me, with me as their sales rep, as well as what they got from implementing NetSuite into their company. Okay, so you do help us with the training. Oh, yes. Yes. So with that year cost, we come in and do a 2-day training for you. Okay. And I will speak, like you said, you think, obviously, I'm a little younger. I came in and I tech savvy, where millennials can use our phones like no other. And I was like, this is a little daunting. Right. They put me through the same sales training that we are going to put your employees through. And I walked out of there and I was like, give me that computer. I can teach this class. So that really is what I believe that your employees will be thinking after that. And we have gone through, and all these companies are the trainings that we have done with them. And you do have my personal contact information. So any questions, any concerns you have, problem, 10 o'clock at night, I'm up, I'm young, like you said. So call me and I can really answer any question you have. This really put my mind at ease. Okay. So I am kind of leaning towards NetSuite right now. Love to hear that. So what kind of, where do we go from here? Well, I would love, really, like you're saying, obviously going back to the money here, I don't want you missing out on any
Mm-hmm.
more profit in your company. So
Right.
I can get my team in here. I will be at a sales training. I can come in next week if you would like. How does that sound?
That honestly sounds good to me. That 33 million really got me worried.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can't miss out on that.
So what do I do now?
I brought a contract for you. I'm
Okay.
reading my pen. Pretty much what this states is that we will come in next week. Monday. Is that?
Monday works fine.
Okay.
Maybe a little later, like noon. Let me
Okay.
just get my coffee in.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'll kind of talk with your colleagues, and then we'll start. And so you'll just have to kind of